program, which was what I wanted. I say Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
Hello.
15 years.
Oh, sorry. Hello, chat. Welcome to the stream. Today we are waiting for some news to go through. Oh, Fed Chair Powell testifies. Supposed to be, I guess, now midnight. Whilst we're waiting for that, we're sort of keeping an eye on price action. It's been completely bullish all day. I haven't taken any trades at all. I just haven't really had a perfect setup. And it's still the case right now, so I'm just monitoring the markets whilst listening to some of Top Step TV's kind of media live stream. We're gonna watch their stream. We're gonna wait for price action to sort of give us something. In the meantime, you know, the realistic kind of, man, really, I can't even take any longs from this sort of area. It's too rigid. I actually want to look for a short if it provides a double top with inducement. I want to look for a short position. Heavily overextended here. So if a we've got some inducement here. Yeah, I'll be looking for some short positions potentially. Going after yesterday, we took a couple losses, and so we're going to try and stick to our plan here. As you can see, focus for day 63 or my journal for 63. Protect capital, only pro trend, low time for confirmations. Protect the structure with inducement and confirmation. In this case, will be counter trend, but so that's what we are doing at the moment. We're going to sort of wait, sit here and wait for some good price action to give us something a bit more fun. So potentially a short position, waiting for something like that. In the meantime, chat, you can go ahead and sort of watch something. Watch what's going on Top Step. Do that. I don't know if you guys can see sort of this as I am doing something like this. I am just 1 second, chat.
To victory, but it's a monumental win for the United States because we were carrying much more than our fair share. Quite unfair, actually. But this is a big win for Europe and for actually Western civilization.
Mate, what is going on?
3 years past administrations failed.
Okay, maybe it's this one.
Most allies to contribute even the 2%. I remember
cool.
when I came here, we had 4 countries.
All right, well, this is what we're going to be doing, chat, while we wait.
Poland was there. A couple of them were
We're just
there.
going to wait for, I want to wait for a sort of position here where I can take a short after some inducement has come through. Ideally, the best setup for me is price comes down, creates the inducement. The inducement actually sweeps lower than this, the initial leg, and it comes back up, making that chock. That's the sort of best kind of price action. So in this case, I would like this to come down here and retest. Oh baby, I'm sizing up and shorting that bad boy. So in the meantime, chat, we're just gonna sit here and watch. I'm gonna turn my camera off and then sort of watch this with you, chat. So y'all know what it is, and we're gonna sit and watch, chat. Enjoy.
Never did happen. Never even thought about it. But it's vital that this additional money be spent on very serious military hardware, not bureaucracy, and hopefully that hardware is going to be made in America because we have the best hardware in the world. You saw that where 14 missiles were shot at us the other day, and they were very nice. They gave us warning. They said, we're going to shoot them. Is 1 o'clock okay? They said, it's fine. And everybody was emptied off the base, so they couldn't get hurt except for the gunners. They call them the gunners. And out of 14 high-end missiles that were shot at the base in Qatar, all 14, as you know, were shot down by our equipment. Amazing stuff. Amazing that they can do. It's like shooting a bullet with a bullet. It's the same thing if you think about it.
Huh.
14 out of 14, and they weren't even that surprised. I said, "Do you do that well often?" They say, "We pretty much do, sir." The Ukraine crisis has also highlighted the urgency of rebuilding our defense industrial base, both in the United States and among the allied nations. We cannot afford to be dependent on foreign adversaries for critical minerals. And as you know, we made a deal with Ukraine to take a vast amount of the land they have for minerals. We need it. And once again, I want to thank all of the people in the Netherlands, incredible people. It's a great place. And all of the NATO allies for the tremendous summit that we just had. A letter just came in, and a statement came in from the Atomic Energy Commission of Israel. And I just wondered, this is an official letter, and they're very serious people, as you know. The devastating U.S. strike on Fordo destroyed the site's critical infrastructure and rendered the enrichment facility totally inoperable. It was devastated. We assess that the American strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities has set back Iran's ability to develop nuclear weapons for many years to come. This achievement can continue indefinitely if Iran does not get access to nuclear material, which it won't. It's so sad that that whole thing had to go. But I just want to thank our pilots. You know, they were maligned and treated very bad, demeaned by fake news CNN, which is back there, believe it or not, wasting time, nobody's watching them. So they're just wasting a lot of time, wasting my time.
Little
And the
selling
New
here on
York
the Nasdaq.
Times, they
Little
put
selling.
out a story that, well,
Pretty good.
maybe they were hit, but it wasn't bad. Well, it was so bad that they ended the war. It ended the war. Somebody said in a certain way, you know, that it was so devastating, actually. If you look at Hiroshima, if you look at Nagasaki, you know, that ended a war too. This ended a war in a different way, but it was so devastating. Also, they have, out of Dubai, just came that Iran's foreign ministry spokesman, this is Iran's foreign ministry, says its nuclear installations were very badly damaged by the American strike. So what bothered me about these reports were fake reports put out by the New York Times, I call it the failing New York Times because it's doing terribly. Without me, it would be doing no business at all. But and by fake news, CNN and MSDNC, all of these terrible people, you know, they have no credibility.
Oh, no.
You know, when I started, they were at 94% credibility, the media. Now it's at 16%. And I'm very proud of it because I've exposed it for what it is. But when I saw them starting to question the caliber of the attack, was it bad? Well, it was really bad. It was devastating. They were obliterated. In fact, you can't get into the tunnels. They just put that over. That just came out. They can't. There's nothing. There's no way you can even get down. The whole thing is collapsed in a disaster. And I think all of the nuclear stuff is down there because it's very hard to remove. And we did it very quickly. When they heard we were coming, it was, you know, you can't move it. Very hard, very dangerous, actually, to move to. And they also knew we were coming, so I don't think too many people want to be down there knowing we're coming with the bunker busters, as we call them. We're the only ones that have them. We have the best equipment, best nuclear equipment, and we have the best equipment in the world. And by the way, we can't forget our submarine, which was out there, submarines actually, but submarine was out there. We shot 30 rockets into an area, every single one of them. I think it was almost 400 miles away, I think, Pete, right? 400 and long. It was in the ocean, long ways
There you
away.
go, Pete.
And we shot a total of 30. Every single one of them hit within 9 inches from where it was supposed to be. It took out a lot because we didn't do just Fordo. We did 2 others in addition, which hadn't been completely destroyed. So we hit them with a submarine from hundreds of miles away.
Marcus
Amazing.
really can't pick a
Amazing
direction right
equipment.
now.
This is
Amazing
all
submarines
scripted, I
in the world.
presume, right?
Nobody's even close. They're 20 years behind us when it comes to submarine
Yeah,
technology.
22,500 stuck on the Nasdaq.
So that's one, and the other was from the Atomic Energy Commission, and they have about 3 or 4 of them now coming in from atomic energy commissions from various places. But the one that we have that just came out, we released it a little while ago, was from the Israeli
Be a
Atomic
great host,
Energy
Andre,
Commission.
man.
But
Like,
numerous of them are getting to see the
regardless
site,
of how you feel about
and
Trump,
the
he
site has
can
been
he can
demolished.
talk.
And again,
He can
we
rock
had
the
these
mic.
brave
Absolutely rock
patriots,
the mic.
these incredible flyers, these people that
Just
can
feels
fly
it.
a plane better than anybody can fly a plane, going into very hostile territory, flying into the territory that has got more missiles and things pointed at it, but it was very stealth. They didn't get to see it. It was dark.
Like
was
That's
supposed
the
to be
anyone
amazing
else,
thing
yesterday.
about the shots. They
It
hit
should be
the
a
shots
nightmare,
perfectly,
like
and yet
everyone's
it was
worst
dead
nightmare,
dark.
just
There
to
was
be up
no
in
moon.
front
There
of
was
like
no
a
light.
NATO conference and
It was
just
virtually moonless.
Nope, not him.
It was very dark, and they hit
just dropping
the shots
bars.
were hit perfectly.
Yo,
But when they get to me, and they were
6154
very
last
upset
trade
about it because they
ES.
knew how
We got
strong
President
it
Trump
would
speaking
be.
at the
Back
NATO
in
summit.
Missouri,
Powell has
pilots
begun
flew
as well.
about
We'll go over to
36
that.
hours, 2 ways, far
after
distance, and
this.
in those incredible B-2s. And we then had the F-22s, and we had the F-35s, and we had other planes, and we had, I think, a total of 52 tankers. That means the big tankers, because the refueling was a lot for all of the different planes that we sent. Incredible operation, and
He's
I
loving
have
it.
to say, General Raisin Kane was incredible. That's why he beat ISIS, and we beat ISIS in a matter of weeks. I was told it would take 4 to 5 years. We did it in a few weeks, and he was great. That's why he's the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff right now, because I had a very good experience with him. He knocked out ISIS in a period of literally a few weeks. Amazing. And it was supposed to take a few years, 5 years to be exact. So we had a great victory there, and we then came here, and I think we had a great victory here. But this is an ongoing project. This is the safety of Europe, the safety of the world. And they've raised it from 2% to 5%, something which nobody, and you're talking about over $1 trillion a year. So we're talking about a lot of money from coming in from countries that we're not paying nearly enough to be effective. So I have, as you know, Marco Rubio with me, and Pete Hegseth, Secretary of State and Secretary of War. Should we say Secretary? You know, it used to be called Secretary of War. Maybe for a couple of weeks we'll call it that, because we
they're
feel
next
like
to him up there?
warriors. Used to be
Oh,
called
they're-
Secretary of
Pete
War.
Hegseth
In
is
fact, if you look at
visible.
the old building
Classic Marco
next to the
Rubio
White
being
House,
cut out
you
of
can see
frame
where it
here.
used to
Oh,
be Secretary of
Marco.
War. Then we
Marco,
became
what did you-
politically correct, and they called it Secretary of Defense. I don't know, maybe we'll have to start thinking about changing it, but we feel that way. Do we have any questions, please? Wow,
Here we go. Questions.
that's a lot of questions.
All right, Q&A time.
Who's a nice person? Oh, you're not a nice person, but I'll let you ask one. Go
Let's
ahead.
go.
What's he going to
Top
ask?
Step TV. We got Q&A
He's
with
not
Trump.
nice at
A little
all.
pullback
Summit.
right now.
I know him
Yeah.
well.
Here we go.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time before flying home.
There's
You
Rubio.
just said you believe the conflict between Israel and Iran is over. What makes you so confident it is? And what do you do if it isn't?
Because I dealt with both, and they're both tired, exhausted. They fought very, very hard and very viciously, very violently, and they were both satisfied to go home and get out. And can it start again? I guess someday it can. It could maybe start soon. I think a big telltale sign was when, as you know, Iran somewhat, by not much, violated the ceasefire, and Israel had the planes going out that morning, and there were a lot of them,
Recession
52 of them.
lows. Yes.
And I said, you got to get them back. And they brought them back.
Hey,
They didn't
session.
do anything. They brought them back. It was very good. I thought it was amazing, actually. They have fought a hell of a war. They fought very hard. I think the war ended, actually, when we hit the various nuclear sites with the planes. And I just hope you people can give these pilots, these are the best pilots in the world. They're the best shots in the world. They call them shots. That's what they are. And wait a minute. And I just hope you can give them the respect they deserve, because they came home to
6150
fake news.
A lot of support.
And like,
Yes.
oh, gee, there was hardly any damage. The things are decimated. So, but I think, no, I think they're very much finished. I think Israel's going to get back to doing what they do, and I think that Iran's going to get back. You know, Iran has a huge advantage. They have great oil, and they can do things. I don't see them getting back involved in the nuclear business anymore. I think they've had it. They've been at it for 20 years, and I don't see that happening either. Now, if it does, We're always there. It won't be me. It'll be somebody else, but we're there. We'll have to do something about it.
I'm
Yes,
long one ES.
please, go ahead.
What price?
Go ahead.
6151.
Oh,
We'll use.
Oh, fake news CNN?
here we go.
Oh, yeah, here we go. Wait till you hear this question.
Thank you,
You
sir.
should really say how great our soldiers and our warriors are.
I think everyone appreciates our soldiers and our warriors. I do have two questions for you, Mr. President. You just cited Israeli intelligence on these attacks. Earlier, you said U.S. intelligence was inconclusive. Are you relying on Israeli intelligence for your assessment of
No,
the impact of the
no.
strikes?
Now, this is also, Iran made the statement, and it's also, if you read the document that was given, that Pete can talk about if you'd like, the document said it could be very severe damage, but they didn't take that. They said it could be limited or it could be very severe. They really didn't know, other than to say
Easy to say it's not a
it
good
could be
long, but it's
limited or
against.
it could be very, very severe. And you didn't choose to put that because it was very early after. Since then, we've collected additional intelligence. We've also spoken to people who have seen the site, and the site is obliterated. And we think everything nuclear is down there. They didn't take it out. Okay, question? Please, go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, blue dress.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. Yesterday, you said China can now continue to purchase oil from Iran.
Yeah.
Are you giving up on your maximum pressure campaign? Because there
With
are
who?
sanctions right
And
now.
long because
With
it
who?
took out
On
the
Iran?
lows from before
they
and then
just
was
had a war.
reclaiming it. So it seemed like
The
a
war
tight
was
spot.
fought.
Like
They fought it
every dip
bravely.
has been getting bought
I'm
up.
not giving up.
Yeah,
I think it's
We're
worth
in
it.
the oil business. I mean,
Hey, Jack, can you
stop
slide
it
your
if I
screen over a
want
little?
it. Could sell
Oh,
China the
yes.
oil myself. I don't want to do that. They're going to need money to put that country back into shape. We want to see that happen. Would it? No. If they're going to sell oil, they're going to sell oil. We're not taking over the oil. We could have, you know. I used to say with Iraq, keep the oil. I could say
How
it
did
here
that
too. We could have
gold
kept
trade?
the oil.
Down 1,100.
No, China is going to want to
No
buy
fault on
oil.
it.
They can buy it from
70%
us. They
short
can buy
Nasdaq.
it from other people. But you're going to have to put that country back into shape. It desperately needs money. Yeah.
Mr. President.
Yeah, please. Here we go. I'm picking the beauties today. Go ahead.
Mr. President, Secretary General Ruta has described President Putin as an adversary, a threat, an enemy. Do you view him the same way? And in addition to that, you mentioned General Kane, your chief of staff, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff.
General Kane.
Yes, he has said that Mr. Putin has territorial ambitions beyond Ukraine. Do you view that in the same way?
Possible.
President?
I mean, it's possible. I know one thing. He'd like to settle. He'd like to get out of this thing. It's a mess for him. He called the other day. He said, "Can I help you with Iran?" I said, "No, you can help me with Russia." Because, you know, in the last few weeks, we took care of India and Pakistan, Kosovo, Serbia. I think on Friday we have coming in, the Congo is coming in and Rwanda is coming in. That was a vicious war that went on, a machete war. Heads chopped off all over Africa. They're coming in. We did two
You still in
others
this,
in
Jack?
addition to that.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever done
Okay, cool.
anything like this.
Andrew, go to Jack's screen.
No, I consider him
We're on
a
it.
person that's, I think, been misguided. I'm very surprised, actually. I thought we would have had that settled easy. I've settled 4 of them in the meantime. But he did call up and he said, you know, he's close to Iran. He'd like to help us get a settlement. I said, no, you help me get a settlement with you, with Russia. And I think we're going to be doing that too. Yeah, please. Go ahead, please.
What was that?
Thank you, Mr. President.
That
You
was
made
a
clear your
noise.
position on what impact the strikes had. I wanted to ask you what is next with Iran. For instance,
Oh,
is
here
there
we
any
go.
indication from U.S. intelligence that Iran was able to move any material, including
No, we
enriched
just the
uranium?
opposite. We think we hit them so hard and so fast they didn't get to move. And if you knew about that material, it's very hard and very dangerous to move. It's called in many people they call it dust, but it's very, very heavy. It's very, very hard to move. And they were way down. You know, they're 30 stories down. They're literally 30, 35 stories down underground.
Think you got it all.
Oh yeah, we think we think it's covered with granite, concrete, and steel.
Can I ask you, are you interested in restarting negotiations with Iran? And if so, have they reciprocated?
So
or is
our
this sort of a
people,
settled
Marco
matter?
could answer this, but our people are not. I'm not.
Crude number, bottom of the hour.
way
Crude
I
number,
look
bottom
at
of the
it,
hour.
They fought, the war's done, and,
Okay.
you know, I could get a statement that they're not going to go nuclear. We're probably going to ask for that, but they're not going to be doing it. But they're not going to be doing it anyway.
All on the wire.
They've had it. They've had it.
Just pump
Now,
it in the
maybe
chat,
someday in the
Eddie.
future we'll want that. But I've asked Marco, do you want to draw, I just asked him the question as we were walking on the stage, do you want to draw up a little agreement for them to sign? Because I think we can get them to sign it. I don't think it's necessary. Marco, do you want to talk about that, please?
Mr.
Whoa.
President, I think President Trump has shown a willingness to meet and talk to anybody in the world who's interested in peace. I don't know of any president that's been as willing as he has to meet with anyone and talk about peace. We'd love to have peaceful relations with any country in the world. And so obviously that'll depend on Iran's willingness not just to engage in peace, but to negotiate directly with the United States, not through some third country or fourth country process. But I know of no president, probably in our modern history, that's sought peace more than President Trump has.
Sounds like the door is open, but you're in no rush. Is that right? It sounds like the door is open, but
I'll
you're
tell
in
you
no rush.
what, look, we're going to talk to them next week with Iran. We may sign an agreement. I don't know. To me, I don't think it's that necessary. I mean, they had a war, they fought. Now they're going back to their world. I don't care if I have an agreement or not. The only thing we'd be asking for is what we were asking for before about we want no nuclear, but we destroyed the nuclear. In other words, that's destroyed. I said, Iran will not have nuclear. Well, we blew it up. It's blown up to kingdom come. And so I don't feel very strongly about it. If we got a document, wouldn't be bad. We're going to meet with them, actually. We're going to meet with them. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Mr. President, Netherlands TV, thank you for visiting our country.
Good.
As I
Thank you.
understood, I, of course, would like to know how you slept last night at the House of the King.
Oh, I slept beautifully.
Probably a more serious question. I think you just had a meeting with President Zelensky. Did you discuss any ceasefire in this Russo-Ukrainian war?
No, I wanted to know how he's doing. He was very nice, actually. You know, we had little rough times sometimes. He was couldn't have been nicer. I think he'd like to see an end to this. I do. I think what I took from the meeting couldn't have been nicer, actually. But I took from the meeting that he'd like to see it end. I think it's a great time to end it. I'm going to speak to Vladimir Putin, see if we can get it ended. But look, these are brave people. They're fighting these wars all over the place. You know, last week they had, I guess, I told you, close to 7,000 young soldiers, Russian and Ukrainian soldiers were killed, 7,000 in 1 week. It's crazy. It's crazy. So I'll be speaking to Putin. No, I had a good meeting with Zelensky, and I had a lot of good meetings. We had a lot of good meetings with a lot of people, a lot of great leaders. But he's fighting a brave battle. It's a tough battle. Yeah. Go ahead, white dress.
You white dress.
Thank you. Ida Hallikainen from
You're with me,
Finland,
Leather.
Ilta-Sanomat.
Good.
You have played golf with President
that
Alexander
Andre?
Stubb.
Oh, he's
How
gone.
do you see Finland as a NATO ally and partner, and how would you describe your relationship with our president?
Well, he's a very good golfer. Okay. In fact, he was on his college golf team. He went to a good college in the South, as you know, a very good college, and he was a good golfer. We had a good time. I think my relationship's great. I want to buy icebreakers. You know, you're very good at icebreakers. And I actually made him an offer. I didn't go to Congress. They'll try and impeach me for this. But there's an old, it's not old, it's fairly new, but it's used icebreaker. And I offered him about 1/3 of what he asked for. But we're negotiating. We need icebreakers in the U.S. And if we can get some inexpensively, I'd like to do that. Actually, they'll fix it up, make it good. Also, we may buy some icebreakers. You know, you're the king of icebreakers, that particular country. They make them good. They make them really good, and they know what they're doing. And so we're negotiating with them for about 15 different icebreakers. But one of them is available now. It's old, and it's, old. It's like 5-6 years old. And we're trying to buy it. I'm trying to make a good deal. It's all I do my whole life. My whole life, that's all I do is make deals. Yeah, please. Go ahead. Sir, go ahead.
Yeah, a question for NewsHour, Dutch TV. First of all, on Article 5, on your way here, you spoke about the commitment of the U.S. to Article 5, saying, I'll give you my definition once we're here. What is your definition, and may the U.S. commitment to Article 5 change in case some of the NATO members do not reach the threshold that was discussed today? My second question is following up on a colleague on Iran. What intel reports do say that everything over there was obliterated?
Yeah, well, there are numerous of those reports, and they're coming out fast and furious. But the most respected ones we've already seen. And I will say that on a very confidential basis, they're looking at the reports, like numerous reports, and including people going to the site and checking the site. And they're going to be having, I guess you're going to be having over the next couple of days you're going to encapsulate it. But no, the site was obliterated, just like I said it was. And just like the pilots should be given credit for. As far as Article 5, look, when I came here because it was something I'm supposed to be doing, but I left here a little bit differently. I said, I watched the heads of these countries get up.
Crude oil inventories.
And the love and the passion that they showed for their country was unbelievable. I've never seen quite anything like it. They want to protect their country, and they need the United States. And without the United States, it's not going to be the same. And you can ask Mark, or you can ask any of the people that were there. It was really moving to see it. They love their country. They were so respectful of me because I'm the head of the United States. And I made, the King of Saudi Arabia, when I was in the Middle East. So I was in Qatar for a different reason, not a reason to get shot at. We were in there for economic development reasons, Qatar, UAE, and Saudi Arabia. All three leaders of those countries, and we took back $5.1 trillion into the United States. All three leaders said, you're presiding over the hottest country in the world. The United States right now is the hottest country. Everybody wants to be there. Everybody wants a piece of it. He said, a year ago, your country was dead. You had a deadhead running it. You had a country that was dead, and it was dead. You had people pouring through the borders. You had inflation. You had everything. He said, you've made it in 5 months at that time. You've made it the hottest country. This is the hottest country in the world. The United States right now is the hottest country in the world. And when I was around that table, it was a nice group of people, many of whom I knew from previous. When I saw the passion they had for the country, and almost everyone, and you probably have the tapes, it was very public, but almost every one of them said, thank God for the United States. Without the United States, they couldn't really have NATO. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work. It will in the future because now they're paying much more money, but it wouldn't work. It was great. And I left here differently. I left here saying that these people really love their countries. It's not a ripoff. And we're here to help them protect their country. Okay, we'll do one or two more.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yeah. A question on Spain. Are you satisfied with today's?
Oh, I think Spain's terrible what they've done. No, I do. They're the only country that won't pay the full up. They want to stay at 2%. I think it's terrible. And they're doing very well. The economy is very well. And that economy could be blown right out of the water with something bad happening. Spain is the only country that, are you from Spain?
Yeah.
Good, congratulations. You're the only country that is not paying. I don't know what the problem is. I think it's too bad. So we'll make it up. You know what we're going to do? We're negotiating with Spain on a trade deal. We're going to make them pay twice as much. And I'm actually serious about that. We're going to make Spain. I like Spain. I have so many people from Spain that it's a great place and they're great people.
EIA.
But Spain is the only country out of all of the countries that refuses to pay. And
come on, Spain.
So they want a little bit of a free ride.
I don't like how he's talking about.
Pay it back to us on trade because I'm not going to let that happen.
It's unfair. Guys.
It's unfair to NATO. All right, sir, please go ahead. Right in the back.
There's a kid in
you
there.
Tall one, the tall man.
Links. Stretch.
Mr. President, Johannes Petter from Austrian National Television. You once said that you would end the Ukraine war in 24 hours. You later said that sarcastically.
Well, of course it was sarcastic.
But you've now been in office for 5 months and 5 days. Why have you not been able to end the Ukraine war?
Because it's more difficult than
5 seconds.
People would have any idea. Vladimir
Putin
has been more difficult. frankly, I
Right,
had some problems with Zelensky.
Crude
You
coming
may
in
have
at
read about
negative
him.
5,836,000. They were looking at negative
Look, we
1.1.
just ended a war in 12
Negative
days that was simmering for 30
5.836.
years, frankly.
EIA crude.
We ended Rwanda and the Congo. It's coming to sign the documents. We've already signed basic documents, but they're coming, I think, to the White House on Friday. We ended Serbia was going to go at it. But maybe the most important of all, India and Pakistan. And that wasn't whether or not they may someday have nukes like we're talking about in the Middle East, like we're talking about with Israel and Iran. This
Crude
is they
catching a
have
bid.
nuclear weapons. I ended that with
20 cents off the highs.
series of phone calls on trade. I said, look, if you're going to go fighting each other, it was getting very bad. You know how bad that last attack was. It was really bad. If you're going to go fighting each other, we're not doing any trade deal. No, you have to do a trade deal. I said, we're not doing any trade deal. And in fact, I had the general, who was very impressive. The general from Pakistan was in my office last week. You know, Prime Minister Modi is a great friend of mine. He's a great gentleman. He's a great man. And I got them to reason. I said, we're not doing a trade deal if you're going to fight. And if you're going to fight each other, we're not doing a trade deal. And you know what? He said, no, I want to do the trade deal. We stopped the nuclear war. Go ahead. Go ahead, Jeff. Here's another beauty, Jeff. He's a beauty, all right. Go ahead.
Who's Jeff?
Mr. President, a follow-up on Ukraine. Will the United States contribute any more money to Ukraine's defense this year to the $5 billion that allies are giving? And one question, you had another meeting with the Dutch opposition leader, Mr. Wilders. Can you tell us about that meeting? And are you upset about his anti-Muslim stance?
I'm not upset about it. It's just his view. He's unhappy with the way things are going in this country and various countries. He was an opposition leader. And I was asked to meet with the opposition leader by the people that are running. I think they have some deal where if you have a meeting, you're supposed to meet with an opposition leader. I said, that's strange. We don't do that. But I met with I didn't know him. He seemed like a very nice guy, but he's in opposition to the current people, and that was set up by the current people. So I assume when I met with the prime minister, you're supposed to meet with the opposition. We'll have to try that sometime in our country. Let's not do it. But I thought he was very good. As far as money going, we'll see what happens. There's a lot of spirit. Look, Vladimir Putin really has to end that war. People are dying at levels that people haven't seen before for a long time. Go ahead. Go ahead. White shirt. Oh, she's all excited.
Finger on the trigger.
BBC News Ukrainian. I would
Where are
like
you
to
from?
ask you, I'm from Ukraine.
Oh,
so my
cool.
question to you is whether or not the U.S. is ready to sell anti-air missile systems Patriot to Ukraine. We know that Russia has been pounding Ukraine really heavily right now.
Are you living yourself now in Ukraine?
My husband is there.
Wow.
And
I can see you it's amazing.
And me with the kids, I'm in Warsaw actually because he wanted me to be.
Is your husband a soldier? No?
He is.
He's there now?
Yeah.
Wow. That's rough stuff, right? That's tough. And you're living here?
In Warsaw.
And you're a reporter?
I am.
Good. So let me just tell you, they do want to have the missiles, okay, as they call them, the Patriots. And we're going to see if we can make some available. They're very hard to get. We need them too. We were supplying them to Israel, and they're very effective, 100% effective. Hard to believe how effective. And they do want that more than any other thing, as you probably know. That's a very good question, and I wish you a lot of luck. I mean, I can see it's very upsetting to you. So say hello to your husband, okay? Thank you. Go ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. You were criticizing.
Where are you from?
Bloomberg News.
Oh, Bloomberg.
You were criticizing the Federal Reserve Chair before coming to this summit.
Yeah, I think he's terrible.
I was wondering if you've begun interviewing different candidates for the Fed pick.
I know.
Mute.
Within 3 or 4 people who are going to pick. I mean, he goes out pretty soon, fortunately, because I think he's terrible. We have no inflation. We have a tremendous economy. Hundreds of billions of dollars of tariff money is pouring in. Factories are being built because they don't want to pay the tariffs, so they're building them all over the country. I think we're close to $15 trillion. I told you 5.1 trillion from the Middle East alone, but of investment money coming in. There's never been anything like that in the history of our country. But we have no inflation. And we have borrowing because Biden, stupidly, they did short-term debt. So we have borrowing coming up. And, we'll go 10 years, maybe longer, maybe shorter, but we'll go a long period of time when we do the debt. And because of him, because of this guy, we will have to pay for years. We'll be paying for him. And I said to him, listen, there's no inflation. He says, but maybe there'll be some. That's true. I said, if there is some, what you do is raise the rate. I'm okay with that. You raise the rate in 2 years from now or in a year from now. But because the rate's high, we have to pay more for debt. It's pretty equal. In other words, if it's 4%, it's 4%. If you drop it a point, you'll pay 3%. So it's fairly equal, not necessarily, but fairly equal. So we're going to end up paying maybe 2 points or 3 points more. 3 points would be about $900 billion a year because of this very average mentally person. He's an average mentally person. I'd say low in terms of what he does, low. Low IQ for what he does, okay?
Oh, boy.
Wait, so instead of paying $900 billion, we don't want to pay 900 just because he doesn't want to lower the rate. I said, if there's inflation in 2 years or 3 years or 1 year from now, you raise the rate. You take care of the inflation, among other things. But he's probably a very political guy, I guess. I don't know. I think he's a very stupid person, actually. All right, one more. Let's go. How about you? Go ahead.
No name for
She
him?
looks so happy and everything.
Thank you.
That's why I
I'm
picked
from
her.
Spain too. I'm Ana Buch from La Vanguardia. I wanted to know if
You're where from?
Spain too.
Ah.
I wanted to know if you want to
That's the
negotiate.
Spain corner right there. Shouldn't have said that. That's okay. I do like Spain, by the way. I think it's unfair that they're not paying, but go ahead.
Are you going to negotiate directly with Spain about?
I'm going to negotiate directly with Spain. I'm going to do it myself. They're going to pay.
You need
They'll
that
pay
clip.
more money this way. You should tell them to go back and pay. You're a reporter. Tell them to go back. They ought to join all of those countries that are paying 5%.
They have this paella.
Spain's going to be just about the only
Many
one that's
things.
not. They were the most
Mumbai.
hostile toward doing it. It just doesn't make sense to me. Okay. All right, Kelly, go ahead.
One more.
Here we go. Here's another one.
Hello, sir. Thank you very
We got them all today.
Okay. So, Mr. President, you talked about expecting some on-the-ground assessments at Fordo and other
Yeah.
sites.
Now here-
Is that
here again.
Israeli and U.S.?
It's been obliterated, Kelly. It's been
What is your message
obliterated.
then, sir, to the intelligence community when they present reports? You're not disputing the DIA report. You're just
They presented a
exists.
report that wasn't finished. We're talking about something that took place 3 days ago.
I understand that, sir.
The
It's an
report was
initial
done
assessment. So
2
what
days
is
ago.
your-
Wait a minute.
Yes.
They didn't see it. All they can do is take a guess. Now, if you take a look at the pictures, if you take a look how it's all blackened, the fire and brimstone is all underground because it's granite and it's all underground. You don't show it. But even there, with all of that being said, the whole area for 75 yards around the hole where it hit is black with fire. The group that's run by this gentleman, in fact, you may want to talk about it for a second because we're going to issue a report. And I think it's not even a very exciting report
Jack,
at
you going
this
this
point.
long?
It's been obliterated, totally
Yeah,
obliterated.
there's a lot of
and
resistance at
they did a report,
6150.
but
I can't tell.
it was
I'm
like
liking it.
if you look at the
last.
dates, it's just a few days after it
Understood,
happened.
sir.
So they didn't see it. They said it may be very severe. Go
Understood.
ahead.
Do you have a message for the intelligence community, though, in terms of unvarnished information getting to you, that it's not
I don't
just-
really have a message. I would say issue the report when you know what happened. I wouldn't say that it could be severe or maybe not. They use the word severe. It could be severe or maybe it's not.
And briefly,
So people like you picked up and said, oh, it's not severe.
We're just
no,
looking for the
the report was not a complete report. Yeah, the message was probably wait till you know the answer before you
And
go
sir,
ahead.
did you not have a public component to your Zelensky meeting for a tactical reason with President Putin?
Let him answer this.
Hello, Mr. Secretary.
Yeah.
Man, oh, man.
There's a reason the president calls out fake news for what it is. These pilots, these refuelers, these fighters, these air defenders, the skill and the courage it took to go into enemy territory flying 36 hours on behalf of the American people and the world to take out a nuclear program is beyond what anyone in this audience can fathom. And then the instinct of CNN, the instinct of the New York Times is to try to find a way to spin it for their own political reasons, to try to hurt President Trump or our country. They don't care what the troops think. They don't care what the world thinks. They want to spin it to try to make him look bad based on a leak. Of course, we've all seen plenty of leakers. And what do leakers do? They have agendas. And what do? Do they share the whole information or just the part that they want to introduce? And when they introduce that preliminary report that's deemed to be a low assessment, you know what a low assessment means? Low confidence in the data in that report. And why is there low confidence? Because all of the evidence of what was just bombed by 12 30,000-pound bombs is buried under a mountain, devastated and obliterated. So if you want to make an assessment of what happened at Fordo, you better get a big shovel and go really deep, because Iran's nuclear program is obliterated. And somebody somewhere is trying to leak something to say, oh, with low confidence, we think maybe it's moderate. Those that dropped the bombs precisely in the right place know exactly what happened when that exploded. And you know who else knows? Iran. That's why they came to the table right away, because their nuclear capabilities have been set back beyond what they thought were possible because of the courage of a commander-in-chief who led our troops, despite what the fake news wants to say.
Drop the
But you're
mic.
not
Drop the mic.
disputing the report said what it said, even though it was initial.
The report said what it said, and it was fine. It was severe, they think, but they had no idea. They shouldn't have issued a report until they did, but we've gotten the information. I think Pete said it better than you can say it. And, you know, you should be proud, especially you, should be proud of those pilots, and you shouldn't be trying to demean them.
No, there's
Those pilots flew at great risk, a big chance that they'd never come back home and see their husbands or their wives. Let me just tell you, you and NBC, fake news, which is one of the worst, and CNN, New York Times, are all bad. They're sick. There's something wrong with them. You know what? You should be praising those people instead of trying to find some. By getting me, by trying to go and get me, you're hurting those people. They were devastated. You know, I got a call from Missouri, great state, that I won 3 times by a lot. And I got a call that the pilots and the people on the plane were devastated because they were trying to minimize the attack. And they all said it was hit. But we don't think it was really maybe hit that badly. And they were devastated. They put their lives on the line, and then they have, and I'm not referring to you, but real scum come out and write reports that are as negative as they could possibly be. It should be the opposite. You should make them heroes and heroines. You should make them really people that they were so devastated when they heard this news. And you know what they said? One of them, I spoke to one of them, said, "Sir, we
Andre, the
hit
electrician
site.
is here,
Was-
so I'm going
All
to
right,
have
you
to
can
sign off.
It was dead on.
I
Come back when
moved
ready.
because I'm going
they
to be
don't
away.
understand fake news because they have a normal life, except
We have a
they
break
have
even
to
stop.
fly very big, very
Sounds
fast
good.
planes.
I'll just count long from
But it's a
6151.
shame. You should be making them heroes.
Later, Jack.
All right, in the back.
Oh, he ain't
Go
done.
ahead. Back
Here you go.
white. Yeah,
NATO summit. President Trump speaking.
white jacket. Yeah. Go ahead. Give my mic. Hello.
Deborah Haynes from Sky News.
Good.
Mark Rutte, the NATO chief, who
Mark.
is your friend, he called you daddy earlier.
What?
Do you regard your NATO allies as kind of children?
No, he likes me. I think he likes me. If he doesn't, I'll let you know. I'll come back and I'll hit him hard. Okay? No.
Do you
He did.
regard-
He did it very affectionate. Daddy, you're my daddy.
Do you regard your NATO allies, though, as kind of like children, and they're obviously listening to you, and they're spending more, and you're obviously appreciative
catching a
of
bit
that.
off that.
But do you hope that actually they're
Daddy.
going to be able to defend themselves, defend Europe on their own, without
I think they
the
need
United
help a little
States?
bit at the beginning, and I
But
think
in
they'll
the-
be
in
able
the
to.
end-
And I think they're going to remember this day. And
You guys
this was
pushing
a
higher?
big day for NATO. You know, this was a very
Nasdaq
big
also.
day. They took it. One of
I
the
was
gentlemen
shocked
said, "You know
about
what? We've been
this.
trying to raise money raise the rate for 30 years." He said, 20 years from almost the beginning. And he's been there for a long time. He said, until you came along, it never happened. What you did is amazing. It's been sort of an amazing day. for a lot of reasons, but also for that. Yeah, go
Do
ahead.
you think they can do it without you, though, in the future? Can they do it without
Well,
the
ask
United
Mark.
States?
I mean, you have to ask Mark. Okay. So we're heading back. We're heading back. I want to thank these two gentlemen behind me. They're incredible people, both of them. They've done a fantastic job. And Susie's in the front, and she's done great. And Monica, thank you very much. It was quite an exciting time. And we're going to be heading back. We'll be back soon, and we'll see you in Washington, D.C. Remember this, we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Right. Again, that was President Trump speaking at the NATO summit, taking a press conference and a Q&A. Oh, look who it is, upper right-hand corner. Welcome aboard, Mr. Michael Patak. Thank you for jumping in. Your thoughts?
Grab a shovel, Dre.
Grab a shovel. I love that one. Grab a shovel.
There
Indeed.
are so many one-liners out of it. I mean, I'm so glad you guys are getting this feed now. We just signed a big deal with a big news outlet that has every feed imaginable. And to get that pumped into here, I don't know if CNBC I don't watch them anymore. Was playing it or whatever, but it's entertaining. Entertaining.
You're not wrong. All right, let's take a look at the markets here. We'll come back to the guys here. Take a look at the Nasdaq, 22,514 last trade. The markets didn't do too much. Just a little bit of a bid here in the ES, 61.58, about 2 points off the highs there. Again, house account long, one ES from 61.51. We had that crude number come out. Not a whole lot moving there. Last trade, $65.16, about 50 cents off the highs. Gold's 33.25. We got Doom here. We got Jay here. We got Hogue here. We got Michael Patak in the house. We also got 5,300 people watching us all across the globe right now. We got Powell speaking as well. We'll probably bring in the video. Again, it's a repeat from yesterday, so we'll have that there in case something does happen. 5,300 people watching. Please click like, click subscribe, click notify. Let's get into it. Jay, any trades taken during the press conference?
No, but I'm getting ready to get long in the equities here. No trades during that. I did get stopped out of that gold trade. I was short gold. Got stopped out of that. So down about 1,100 right now, but I am looking at a potential long in the equities right now. Let me share my screen again because I did think you guys did lose my screens.
Is this the same Doom that I met last week? What's up, Doom?
Ooh.
Not much,
First
boss,
guy,
man.
Got right out of the corner. You were ripping a cigarette, weren't you?
Yeah. I was just chilling outside smoking a cig. Make sure in the rain.
Did you have a good time?
You just got flooded with people, man.
Oh yeah.
Come back here. Yeah.
That was a 1 week notice too. I think we gave everybody something like that. We're gonna be doing it again, same spot, or maybe not that bar because we filled that bar up shoulder to shoulder, but we'll figure it out. But good seeing you there. You're a Chicago guy?
No. I used to live in Peloton, but I flew in from Florida.
Yeah, you and Dre Day, did you guys go to school together? He's a Peloton guy.
Oh no.
I knew that to catch your attention.
There's that great guy.
You went to the smart school. Yeah, I got it.
Oh, come on, man. What are you coming on here for right with that? Doom, did you take any trades during? Come on, man. You come on here. Doom, did you take any trades?
I got chopped up. I got top tick. I was short. Literally went up, picked me up, going down. I'm going to take a little breather here and wait out to see what the market going to do.
All right.
15-minute high, 15-minute low. I'm just going to wait, see where we're going to end up, either above or below, and maybe act from there.
All right, sounds good. Michael, your thoughts on the press conference? Hogue, content markets, real quick. Hogue, anything IB? We already got the initial balance set, first hour into the trade. It looks like we're pretty much range bound right now, Hogue. Anything you're seeing?
Yeah, we most certainly are, Andre. We've got about a 12 handle range in the S&Ps, even with that press conference going on. Value is kind of leaking to the upside. Nasdaq, the initial balance has been officially set, and we have not traded outside the initial balance yet. We've got an 84 3/4 initial balance, and we are right in the middle of that, range. So we did take out the low of the initial balance in gold, and we rejected that. We rejected value from yesterday. We're back inside the huge gap from Monday to Tuesday. Initial balance is set. Really just kind of hanging at the high of value from today. So really kind of range bound is what we're looking at here, and exactly that. I mean, did look above the initial balance in crude oil, back inside that initial balance now. Market's really just kind of sitting here waiting for seemingly new information. We are, putting in recent highs. Everybody's been talking about equities getting to the all-time highs, which seems like a likely outcome here at some point, but really just kind of rotating inside the ranges today so far.
Yes, indeed. A little bit of selling here. Oh, but he's talking about 22,500 in the Nasdaq, 22,484. Michael, Top Step TV becoming a news outlet. We got Eddie breaking news here. We're bringing in President Trump. We got Powell in the lower right-hand corner. Do you want to get, if you want to take a quick nap, Andrew, if we can bring in the Powell testimony real quick, let's see what's happening over there.
Oh, they're drilling him again, huh?
Yeah, just listen to this.
I'm short 491 and 3 ticks.
While the regulators may fully have understood,
491.
sometimes the
my
very
course.
banks being regulated didn't understand fully the criteria. I know you're taking a look at how we can bring more transparency to the process.
Michael.
When do you think we'll see
Boring.
that, and what kind of changes do you think?
Well, later this year, we've said that we're going to
Here we go. Let's listen for a
fully
second.
disclose the models, and that's the main thing. If you're going to set, it's like the IRS. If you're going to charge people taxes, you have to have the transparency about what that is. It's going to be the same as that. We're going to show how the calculations are made, and we're working on all that right now. We're also going to, we have a proposal out to sort of smooth the results of the test from year to year. So this is something we're working on hard and expect to have important progress later this year when we begin to publish the models.
I'm anxious to see it. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Ricketts.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we were
All
talking
right.
about tariffs a little bit earlier.
Enough of that. We'll keep the video coming in. We obviously got Eddie scanning the wires right now. Doom is short from 22,491 in the orders. Michael, it is just too conflicting. You got President NATO just doing his thing on the podium, and you got Powell keeping the markets quiet. Get your shovel out, Michael. We got
I
to be
feel
doing more
for
of
that
this.
poor reporter from Spain, man. Just say hi to him. Like, you guys.
What is Spain?
Oh, yeah. How about the lady that he goes, hey, tell your husband I said hi. Just like she's going to come home. She'd be like, hey, Mr. President from the United States, let me tell you hi.
Says hello.
Yeah, watch the interview.
Let's take a look at tilt. Nothing on the tilt. We got 79% long crude oil right now. 70 from a average price of 65.12. So about right here, right now. Markets are a bit. Michael, we're also closing in on all-time highs. We're not too far from all-time highs in equities.
Some intern got to tell their guy up there that's asking Powell questions. Did you hear that Trump just called you an idiot this morning about 15 minutes ago? How would you respond to that?
Is that?
I want to hear that.
You were hitting with it yesterday.
I can't believe. Yeah. I mean, I get that's kind of his way in which
he's got.
talks, but
That's his job. It's also interesting. We're starting to see some of the Fed governors. They are starting to angle. They're talking about rate cuts for the July 30th FOMC meeting. The representatives yesterday were bringing up. Well, who do we have? Bowman and Harker. They were talking about rate cuts, and essentially people might be angling to be Powell's replacement within the Fed. So something we're going to keep an eye out for that. Talking about rate cuts as early as July. But right now, markets are barcoding for a little bit.
Hey,
Dre, try to take that long, got stopped
ahead.
out. So I'm down 1,500. I have a personal daily loss. I'm set to 1,500. I'm down 1499.60. So I think I'm done for the day. I'm done for the day.
That would be. That would be a day.
Call it a wrap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Michael? We got Doom short. Keep an eye on that trade. What do you got? What's up, Michael? We got Doom in the house.
I just noticed on Top Step X, Top Step TV is live. How many people here clicked that to get here?
Question.
It's on the menu on the far left on Top Step X, which is the best platform in the futures trading world. Hands down.
Agreed.
You list all the platforms. This is the one that gets the most
there it
pass
is.
rates, most
Look at
amount of people
that.
that choose it.
Yup. I do. I clicked it. I do sometimes. Yes. Sweet. Cool. YouTube's not yet. Refresh. I did. Awesome. Yes. Make sure you know when we are live, when Top Step TV is live. Some people go straight to YouTube. Some people do. All right, cool. Awesome. Can't see the comments.
I hear a lot of people. Seen a lot of people chime in about our support. Our support's not good right now, and I say not good right now is because it's not where it should be of responding and closing same day. It's been something I've shared with our leadership team multiple times. There is stakeholders, and the stakeholders own this. And they're responsible for getting it into a state where the response and close time is as quick as possible, which would be we're shooting for like an hour or same day for closed. So I apologize. It does buck stops with me, so I want to share that with you guys. I'm not happy with it. So we've gone through this before about a year ago. With another whatever. So they have to improve the process. They have to improve the team, and everybody needs to elevate themselves over there. They all know. I have a company meeting today that I'll talk tomorrow. So that is me saying to you guys, I'm working on it. Bear with us. We have always been took a lot of pride in our excellent support, and we are not living up to that right now. And it is on me to work with the folks to fix that.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing.
Full transparency. Where else do you get that accountability? It's it happens. And sure, Top Step.
I'd be upset. I mean, I go to them all the time. I go, I just read this. I would be upset. Why is it taking 4 days to get a reply? Why are we having issues with it? I would be upset. I know I would. So I can relate. Now, don't be a jerk. Just be. Hopefully, when you hear this, you're like, okay, I understand. And again, if you're like, hey, I want to trade right now and I can't do a Top Step, then there are other options out there. I'm sorry that you aren't getting it here, but there's other good ones out there. I like Earn to Trade. I like Trade Day, things like that. So if you want to stay in the markets, I totally understand that. We'll get you back.
Appreciate that. Thank you for that. Look at that transparency, taking accountability. Michael, is it as easy as just hiring more people? In the chat,
No.
just said,
We've got 27 more hired. We have 150 support reps easily. I think that it's ballooning to a number where it's like our technology is really needs to step up better, which we're doing right now. The new dashboard is coming out right now. We have an old legacy dashboard and a new one coming out of the gate. And you got rolling people out of the old into the new. The new has some bugs because it's new. Hey, so-and-so double clicked on this and had an extra window open on their tab and they were able to do this and that. Oh, we didn't think about that. Close that loop. So all that's happening. We have a major announcement in July. That should help narrow a lot of other things. So no, I mean, you can't hire your way out of stuff when you need better process and you need better, you need to improve your technology so it's doesn't create tickets. It actually ensures that tickets don't show up for all those things that we're getting them on right now. And they're billing ones or resetting issues, as simple as it is, resetting issues. There is actually, that was a bug on resetting. So people had a hard time getting back in after we did a hard reset when we did not get hacked. We just did it as a precautionary thing. But it's just, so those are a lot of the things I'm sharing with you guys. I was in the meeting yesterday. It was I was very upset yesterday and they could tell it in my voice, but I've learned to manage I've learned to manage myself in a way that's not going to, screaming doesn't work.
There's a smile. I can hear it in the tone of your voice and your facial expressions. So it keeps you up at night a little bit, Michael. So thanks for coming on. Again, I assure you, they're busting their ass behind. They are always working.
Yeah, they are 100%. Back in the day, remember a year and a half ago, something like that, we would pull people off the show. When we first started a show, we had to pull people off the show to help out with support.
All hands on
Yeah.
deck. Eddie, Hogs.
Yeah, we called it all hands on deck.
Weekends even. I mean, we all worked it.
Yep. We've all done support here.
Part of we care. Traders first, trading and traders first here. You know how we are here at Top Step and Top Step TV. Let's take a look at some of these markets. Doom, you are still short from 22,491 and the orders, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Doom's chilling on that recliner.
As a consumer, I got to say, this is good business. Where else you get the CEO come up on live, YouTube, everybody like, hey, look, this and this is how it's going, this is what's happening. You get live updates. Nobody's in the dark. This is great business.
Well, that Doom, you know probably better than anybody now because you're like embedded in it. The community aspect is really important to us, and you were there at the meetup. You saw the community. Me doing this is a community thing. We're a community. Like, look, I mean, I am human, just like you. I have a vision. That's what's kind of got us to where we are here. But I needed to have great executors, and I've got them along the way to get us to that vision, which we have with Top Step. You mean look at a Top Step TV executed. Look at how that event was executed. All that kind of stuff. So ideas without great executions, hallucination. So like, I need to have all that working together. And there's times where, we just need to level up as a team, and with technology, with the way in which we work and how we go about our business. And this is the moment for Top Step to do that. It's mid-year, old technology out, new technology in. That in itself is heavy, plus the other issues that are just day to day. So I'm going to be transparent with you guys, and I'm going to hang out with you guys, and hopefully nobody ever shoots me.
Whoa, come on. Where'd that come from?
I make morbid jokes, guys. I make morbid jokes all the time. You should. I did a scary story for my kids last night, and I made it up. At the end, this lady dies. My wife is like, "Oh my god!" I go, "Well, I mean, she got hit in the head by the robber," and because I made up this story, but the kids were laughing. So like, just don't take life too serious.
Yes. Did you get the dog? Is Bernard is in the
Bernie,
house?
The delivery guy forgot to pick up Bernie. They are now flying him into Aspen tomorrow, so he's getting the bougie treatment now.
Oh, nice.
He's flown in. Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, I have my flight lesson. I'm getting my pilot's license right now for private to buzz around the mountains and go to my nephew's school in Lawrence because he's getting his pilot's license. So I'm doing this with him, kind of same thing. He's over there where I'm here. But so I'll be at the airport when he comes in. Bernard. He's a Saint Bernard. His name is Bernard.
Very original.
Bernie.
Bernie. He'll be Bernie. He'll be Bern when he's when he's really in trouble. Bern, get the hell over here.
Does he have a middle name yet?
How's Lacey? How's Lacey, Johnny?
Lacey, good. Yeah, she's very sweet. Still no manners, but 90 pounds of love right there.
Mm-hmm.
90 pounds. Wow. I weighed my bulldog the other day, and she's 70 pounds. It's a big dog. 90 pounds hog.
Oh yeah.
I got a 70 pounder. I got
their faces just make me laugh. I would just look at them. Just like, they're just so cute. You're like, oh god, I love you.
Michael, they're asking if you take me up for a flight one day for content. Well,
throw the parachute out the window and say, here we go.
Pilot and co-pilot.
We'll Thelma and Louise it, Dre. You and I hold hands and just fly full speed over things.
We go down. We go down together. All right. There it is. Sounds good. We got Euro close in about 27 minutes. Let's go over the schedule for today. Hey, some people talk about the VIP check-ins. Where's VIP check-ins? Well, guess what? We got another VIP check-in coming in today for the Season 3 VIP draft. You could be a lunatic. The Hoax Hero as well. But we got another. Yeah, a little sound here. Doom is short. You got a downside target here, Doom?
I'm looking to add into this. I'm looking for the bottom of the previous 15-minute range. What was that? 387 and a quarter. Man, this is one of the hardest parts of trading. I was in with a mini. I got kicked out at the 5-minute high. This would have been a fantastic trade but hey, the stop has to be where it has to be.
I like
it. It doesn't make money.
Yeah, I totally can relate to that. Getting ticked out. Did you get ticked out?
A little bit, maybe a point or two, but
Yeah. I mean, that's called, yeah. To the tick is the worst. To the
U-turn,
tick.
like, doing 150 handbrake U-turn.
Yeah. That's ticked out. That, give or take a variance there.
Like, what's up, Jack? Quick update on that house account trade. So we're gonna get
We scratched it, and I just put it back on a slightly better price. Man, insult to injury. Never buy an old house, people. I'm just getting railed
me,
right
man.
now.
How much is it? Estimate $9,000.
6,700.
Okay. What do you have done?
Wires in this place. But then the insult to injury is that while I'm away, it looks like this trade would have been taken off in our favor.
It would have, Jack.
Can't do that, Jack.
Yeah.
That's the worst trade there. Your own personal brokerage account, you're trading there. Like, just imagine, like, because it's true. Like, I've been there before, struggling. Next thing you know, you got a bill because your water heater went out, and then you go to sit down and you miss the trade that you could have. Like, oh my god.
I know. Well, we're selling now. Damn, that's
crude grinding higher here, about 20 cents off the highs, $65.43. Eddie, anything on the wire? Have you seen anything on the wire? Starting to see a little sell off here, 61.46 ES.
I just refreshed. All I got is some comments from Paul coming in here. I'm going to be posting in chat, but I'm not seeing anything here really to move these markets here right now. Andre, thank you.
Awesome. Doob, you are short 8 micro.
Yeah, I added 4 to the position. Move my stop to about the same risk.
What's your average price?
473 and 3 ticks.
You trade micros and you go 4-lot clips size?
Kind of threes or fours. There it goes here. Maybe I should have taken it out there instead of adding, but here we are. End the trade. This is a good setup on the hourly. That's what I was trying to get short, get kicked out. I know one thing, it never hurts too much to try again.
Oh no, there's always another opportunity right around the corner.
We're back. Jack, we're back in.
Yeah, we're just long one still.
What price we get? 40.
Look at my variance. 48 half.
All right, just
this
to
will be
update.
tight. Let's see if we get the bounce again.
Hogue, what do you see?
Taking small cuts long.
Got to look below the IB low here. In the S&P that low is 61.48 and a quarter. So, I mean, for longs, what you're looking for is a failed downside auction or a buying tail below that level. You got a long ways to wait, though.
Euro close bottom of the hour. We also count long 1ES from 61.48. We got Doom short 8 micro Nasdaq from 22,473 in the orders. Last trade 22,465. So far so good there. Take a look at
Dre.
Yo, Eddie.
Yeah, I was just to say crude 84% long here in the tilt.
Sure is. Look at that. That's a heavy one. As we close in on the highs, about 15 cents off the highs, we have a heavy long tilt in crude oil. And 65 last trade is the high over there.
No session gap close in the Nasdaq yet. Interesting.
There was a gap. Was there a gap? Okay. Let's go over today's let's go over today's schedule because we got a pretty cool. Of course, we got morning recap, and then with Hogue. After that, we've got another Top Step X API session. These are very, very cool. Learn more about the more features and opening up the API on Top Step X. That's gonna be Adobe, Cone, and Robert. Lunchbox Trade. We got JD, Hoop, and Coach Vince. And, it's a Wednesday, so you know what that means. Not only do we have a VIP check-in, we got top quiz today as well. Eddie and Bonnie. So you get 2 entries for the price of 1. 2 VIP entries one day. Pretty cool. Then we got Rising Star, Chad N with JD and Gabe. And to round out the day, Power Hour. Coda, Dolby, myself at the buzzer with Coach J.
Yeah.
Coach J. And then
Sell it.
Uh-oh, here we go, dude.
There you go.
Hey, you gotta yell at the monitors now and then.
Yep. What do we got here? You got 8. How do you get out of this? How do you manage this? Do you shave some off? Or are you all in, all out?
I am considering, based on the 5-minute candle momentum, maybe shave some off at this purple line as the 200 moving average lines up with the 50 SMA, somewhat here on the 50-minute. Usually that's where I take some. I'm gonna wait and see how this closes. If it closes above 461 ish, I might take the whole thing out.
Very good.
I don't want to suffer that band snap. We deviated quite fast and long from the high.
How trading live, right? Live account. How's it been
Yeah,
going?
they're getting my ass kicked, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, it's part of the
Ebbs
game.
and flows,
Don't let 'em
man.
all.
Ebbs and flows. The only people that will really hang on to getting your ass kicked are just dipshit influencers out there. They'll grab onto anybody that has a poor day and then turn it into that's their whole life. Is that, and it's such a misrepresentation. It's almost like they are missing the forest through the trees, because losses are ordinary, necessary part of trading. I've heard that. There's a day
you must lose.
I actually learned how to trade. With a prop firm. Losses are ordinary, necessary part of trading. Do not be ashamed of a loss. Actually, the guys that post that they take a loss are the guys that I respect the most. So, like, F those guys that do that, because it sends such a poor message to everybody that you have to have ripper winners so you can sit on a Lambo, so then you could tip back and say, guess what? Look at how good I am. That's not, the business is a humble man's business. You get paid to be disciplined, and you pay the markets when you're not disciplined. It almost instills humility and patience and all. Like it's just like, don't get me on this rant, but ebbs and flows. Don't worry.
What is it, Michael? Dude, what is it, Michael? You guys stay right here. I'll stay right here. What is it with these guys? Why do they misery loves company? What is it?
It's not even misery loves company. Misery
what is it then, man?
It's not even misery loves company. Because I mean, which one's misery? It's because somebody's sharing their losing day. That is them being vulnerable, sharing their losing day, and they have misery that day. And maybe misery does want company that day. That's kind of what I would share that. When I had a bad day and we're all in the trading room, Dre had a bad day. Guess who I'm like, feeling a little more comfortable talking to that day. I was like, oh yeah, I got beat up there too. I got ticked out, blah, blah, blah. Just so that's the nature of the business, is to be around that type of attitude, that you want to be on the positive side of things, that you understand that losses don't define you. A trade that loses doesn't define you. What defines you is what the character that you create as you start trading, and that is built over time. So then another thing, people are like, oh, I want to get rich real quick. Well, that's called flash pan success. You hear it all the time. Somebody wins the lottery, next thing they're broke or in jail. Build up, be a doctor, build up your life till it's just the foundation's so strong that you're financially stable and you're doing you're on a takes a while. So that's I just did a preach on the marathon, not a race.
They love dancing on the grave. I don't understand that. Why do they love dancing on the grave when people are down? Going through.
I don't know. That's why they all make more money hawking shit than they do whatever. Don't get me wrong. I
was just saying, I got a great jab from Dan Burt today. I can't wait to share.
It just
if you got it right now and it fits right now, Eddie, you can say that one. That'd be great.
All right. Dan Burt said, I just stopped trading, having reached my personal daily loss limit. And this is what I need to work on more. It's the hardest part of trading, but I'll never be profitable if I don't work on this main issue of mine. And he shared that with everybody here. And it's, I give, trader a lot of credit, especially on a down day.
That is why we use jab.
Somebody just put the word Jack, the word that Jack taught me, Schadenfreude.
Yeah,
there's an actual word for feeling good when people do bad.
What's the word?
I knew Michael was
Schadenfreude.
It's taking delight in the misery of others.
How do you spell it? I'm a country kid from
God.
Nebraska.
Well,
that's all I got for you.
Yeah.
Shot. Is it in front? Lisa Marie has it in here. She writes shot in front.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is
SCHADENFREUDE. The Germans.
I'll never remember that. But
dude, don't worry about it. The markets are selling off here.
Dude, you focus on the markets. We're just bullshitting over here.
You stay locked in, dude, because you are short right now from 22,473 in the orders, and we're about 20 points lower. in the Nasdaq. Again, we got the 84% long tilt in crude right now. About 17 cents off the highs. Gold catching a bit of a bid, trading 33.39, 14 bucks off the lows there as we come into Euro close in about 15 minutes. 15 minutes left. Again, we got Powell speaking in the lower right-hand corner. Andrew, if we want to pipe that in just real quick, see what their nonsense is, then we'll get JD in here for some stats. So what are they talking
Real
about over
quick,
there?
Andre, my
what's up?
favorite German word,
calculus. Does it?
Cumberspec.
Full employment is full
Not a
employment.
real word.
Translates to grief bacon. And it is word for the weight you gain from overeating due to distress. Grief bacon.
Comfort.
Cumberspec.
Does it matter?
All right, bring in Paul here.
Honestly, we don't really have the tools to affect that.
Right. So it doesn't factor in. Now that's different than us. The people of this country elect us to make certain that their wages are higher than inflation. And by the way, let the records show that real wages are up this year. So we've done that, not the Federal Reserve. Second piece of it is let's talk about inflation first.
Well, we've helped control inflation, which is part of that.
We're going to jump right into the inflation conversation.
Here we go.
There's different kinds of inflation. There's different causes. There's not witnesses to inflation. There's key actors to inflation. Would you agree?
Sure.
Okay. So let's talk about the actors. Did you comment during COVID lockdowns that was a bad idea, meaning that you're shutting down the entire economy? It's not a button. I hit the button, you can hear me. It's on and off.
Wow.
COVID wasn't that. We just shut down the economy. Any comments on that?
Of course not.
Okay, so you didn't comment on that. Vaccine mandates, something that my Democrat colleagues loved. If you don't get the vaccine, you're a terrible human being. You can't go to work. In fact, Joe Biden was overruled by the Supreme Court because he said that if you work in a company with more than 100 employees and you don't get vaccinated, the company has the ability to fire you, unless you prove that you're negative on COVID. That obviously is a supply chain shock. Wouldn't you agree? If I'm running an assembly line and now I have to put my people
this is the
6
Federal
feet
Reserve.
apart, and now I have people quitting or not coming to work, or I have to fire them, that's a supply chain
Doesn't
shock.
seem to matter,
Wouldn't you
Jack.
agree?
I mean, it's a medical thing that you.
No, but it's a supply chain shock.
George Washington.
I'm not asking you to make a medical decision. I'm asking you to make a Fed decision on inflation.
Way outside anything we would comment.
But it affects inflation because supply.
It didn't. In fact.
Are you saying that supply chain shocks don't affect inflation?
They do, but that
okay, they do.
didn't.
So that's clearly one. If you ban the export of liquid natural gas, which is going to cause the commodity price to go up, would that supply shock not also cause inflation?
Potentially could.
Yeah. So, and now the ranking member loves to talk about billionaire corporations, that are going to get away with paying taxes, right? Who pays corporate taxes? Like, who pays it? Is it like some obscure Wizard of Oz character behind a curtain that is a corporate entity that pays taxes? Who pays taxes?
I mean, ultimately, it's shareholders and customers.
So it'd be, I'm going to read you a line. You tell me this is accurate. On taxes, it's not possible to know in advance
Who is this? I'm not
precisely
familiar with who
how
this
the
is.
costs
Not familiar
will be
with this senator.
shared for taxes. I added that.
I thought I knew my senators.
But it is highly likely that consumers will pay a meaningful share. Meaning, if the ranking member has her way, let's just tax corporations at 100%. Why not? Be fantastic, right? Oh, nobody would want to start a company, but
Laugh
for that
for
side, that cost would be added to consumer products, correct?
A tax or a tariff? What are you talking about now?
If the income tax for American corporations goes up, they will share that tax burden with their consumers. True or false?
Yeah, ultimately.
Yeah. So then taxes do raise inflation, but you don't comment on.
I mean, they haven't.
And you don't.
That's
But you don't.
Not true.
I got
empirically, it's not true.
The chairman's going to beat me up in 56 seconds. So, but you sent me a very nice letter, which I appreciate. And it says the Federal Reserve plays no role in commenting on trade policy. So you don't comment on supply shocks. You don't comment on tax policy, which clearly affects inflation. You don't comment on demand pull. You just said now that we should forgive student debt. Why is a person that goes to Harvard, that gets a gender studies major, pays Harvard obscene amounts of money because professors are grossly overpaid there, is that person better than a working class Ohioan that is a plumber but can't afford a car because interest rates are too high and car prices have gone up? Why don't we forgive that person's car loan instead of forgiving their student loan? But you don't comment on that. You comment on tariffs. So I'm going to just show you.
I don't comment on tariffs at all, actually. I comment on
only
inflation.
commented on tariffs.
I'm commenting on the wisdom of tariffs.
The chairman's over there in the conversations. I'm going to show you a chart here. This is
Here we
car
go.
prices.
I'm paying attention, however.
This is car prices since this year. Car prices are down. Car prices are down. Inflation in America is down. We got elected by millions of voters. You got elected by one person. He doesn't want you to be in that job.
Whoa.
And you are costing this government $400 billion a year by refusing to lower interest rates. Nobody in this chamber has that kind of power to have a $400 billion impact on this economy, on our deficit. And I just think that you should consider whether you're really looking at this from a fiscal lens or a political lens, because you just don't like tariffs.
That's
Senator
interesting.
Warnock is next.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair Scott, and
right,
thank you, Chair Powell. Good to see you.
Let's go back. All right, that's a great time to check in on the Powell testimony. Seems to be going splendidly over there. Let's take a quick JD. Come on in. Let's get some stats in here. P&Ls and payouts. JD, what's you jump on in? Come, what's up, JD?
Whoa, that was a tough act to follow. I don't think I've ever seen Powell get grilled like that. Woof. All right, here we go. Yesterday's best live funded P&Ls. Here they are. Right at the top, Jeremiah, $18,720 trading the Nasdaq and the micro Nasdaq. $16,977 from the NQ, $17.43 from the MNQ. Next up, we got Joshua trading gold in the Nasdaq. $15,803 trading gold. Balance coming from the Nasdaq. $16,031 in total profits for Joshua yesterday. Aaron, been on the board a couple times. Took some payouts last week. Took a payout on Monday, actually. And he's still at it. $12,999 trading the Nasdaq yesterday. Aaron from Switzerland. Next up, we got Matthew T. 11,127 trading the Nasdaq. And our old friend Netto Trades rounds out the list. Trading the NQ, almost $7,600. Here is your payout list. Top 5 payouts from yesterday. Ruzel is up on the big board, number 10, if I'm not mistaken, right now. $70,000 payout. Ruzel from Maine. Wazarek, another OG. Wazarek from Ohio. $50,111. Lidio from also from Switzerland. $45,000. Ashley, $23,000, and Daishan, $21,195. Decent payouts for these live funded traders. All right, I'll be back before we get out of here with the big board and some hot streaks, guys.
$70,000.
$70,000.
Nice payout there. We got about 7 minutes, 7 or 8 minutes down to the bottom of the hour. That London close. Doom is short still. Jay, no trades.
I realized 4. The initial 4 got in. I realized, and I'm holding the ad. Pretty much break even on this trade if by some chance it shoots up violently.
Sounds good. Take a look at the ES 61.44 last trade there. Gold still grinding a little bit higher. 33.38 last trade. Jack, I'm told you got some news. Can you top what we've seen? Can you top what we've seen today? Because we got. What do you got, Jack?
Not sure I can top that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's talk about where we are so far. What's outperforming the S&P 500? The red line is the index pegged to June 2024 in the last year. Non-profitable tech and the meme stocks are back. Your 401k has suffered for not owning those meme stocks. As a reminder, meme stocks are stocks that are driven by social media narratives as opposed to traditional metrics, but they have been way outperforming here, up over 50% since June of last year. So
meme stocks.
What does that mean? Speaking of meme stocks, Kathy's back.
Yes.
This is a mid Kathy take. ARK Invest SpaceX could grow from $350 billion today to $2.5 trillion by 2030. An average annual return of 40%. I think she lost her fastball. This is
really a big believer, or she just thinks inflation's going to rip?
That's a good question.
A little bit of both, maybe.
More on possible. I love this next one. Andre, was this you?
With the Rolls Royce shirt? No. Rose room. Oh wow.
Red room.
This is what getting a table is nowadays.
Oh, look at that.
Rose room to the moon.
Those 700 calls are paying. Look at that. Sparklers. Michael, you know what that scene was like. I remember you.
Yeah, I went to your birthday party one time when you had it at a club. Yeah, you're right. I do remember.
Yep, and it looks just like that. Didn't say spy calls, but yeah, how about that? Those are paying nicely.
It doesn't say they couldn't fit the expiration on the placard there, but there is a sparkler. Andre, we're gonna get those sparklers. MP, you missed Ross Perot last week. We're gonna bring sparkler manufacturing back to America. Maybe I'll cut
Oh
up
man,
some highlights
I
of
miss
that for MP.
Get Ross in here.
If you could bring that back for me and those that missed it, that would be great. I'm a Ross Perot fan.
We will a bit
Calling us from the
later
grave.
before you get off.
Yeah.
Lastly,
what do we
just one thing that is bullish here is the S&P earnings, like the operating earnings are right here, have been increasing quite a bit, up 10% this year. As a reminder, it's so hard to be a short because when you talk about things like inflation, in the short term, they're going to hurt companies' stock prices. It's not as one-to-one as, say, gold, which is priced in dollars. So inflation is going to make it go up. It can hurt businesses in the short term, cause uncertainty, but eventually they make money in dollars. They're priced in dollars. So we'll see what happens there as well. Those are the tidbits I have for you today, guys.
That's pretty good, Jack. You brought it.
Yeah.
Kathy Wood.
700.
350 billion to 2.5 trillion. I get that.
I'm out on the short.
What'd she say about Tesla? Tesla's also a $2 trillion company, or whatever. Something crazy number. It's already a $1 trillion company.
Yeah.
Market cap.
Market cap in Tesla is just over 1 trillion right now.
Well, whatever she said, it was 2,300 or 2,600. Like, great, I'm long from 289.
Well, it makes
Keep
sense
going.
because she
Keep
thinks
going,
it's going to be a
Kathy.
$34 trillion industry. Robo-taxis by 2034.
Just chucking numbers out there. Let's check in with my man Jay. Jay, are you signing fan club? Who are you talking to over there? Just
No,
asking.
I was just responding to some birthday text, but I'm
What's
thinking
his
about
birthday,
taking it
Michael?
along here.
It's
How old are you?
I'm 30 until I'm 40, MP.
There you go. Figure out what you want to do in your 20s.
There you go.
Yep.
Work hard as hell of it in your 30s. Put your life on cruise control from 40 on. I heard that when I was like 22. Like, I got 8 more years. Okay, cool. So you don't rush, and then also you have 10 years when you do figure it out to go narrow and deep. And anybody that knows that 10 years of doing something, pretty much are a professional at it. And then again, you built that foundation like I was talking about with like a doctor, or even if you said trading, I want to do trading, give it 5 years, 10 years. You want it. Like, I would always have a primary income before you ever say all in on trading. I would never ever advise anybody to go, oh yeah, just go all in on trading from day one. Always have an income until your trading income gets so large that you can then unhitch the wagon, or however on whatever your 9 to 5 is.
Speaking of trading, we got a potential failed downside auction here in the equities.
Nice Hogue.
We got a $3 reversal on both the Nasdaq and the S&Ps again.
Hell yeah.
I'm kind of shook to take it. I was looking into that long, but
Jay, did you say you were thinking about a long?
Yeah, I was, Hogue.
Pretty cheap.
Yeah, I'm long 3 micros right now. I did open up a combine.
We got London close in 2 minutes.
3 micro Nasdaq.
We do. Coming your way after London close, Eddie. Let's take a look at the ES. Yeah, go ahead.
67 quarter.
Thank you. Go ahead, Andre. Thank you.
Yeah, London close in 60 seconds. Hogue jumping in there, perhaps a failed downside auction. Michael, any trades today? Any trades?
No trades today. SOSFX. I do Airbnb and real estate as a main income trading thing. Okay, that's awesome. I love that because that's exactly what I did to keep an income coming in. I also was a bartender in my very early days. That was fun because you start work at 5, you end at 2. Unless it's a slow night, you end at midnight. You wake up back at 5, and then you go trade starting at 7:20, and with the prop firm. That was my schedule at 22 to 23. Well, you got Airbnb. That's a great income from what I'm hearing and experience, and I've been doing it for like 15 years. And that's really been a great one. So find, for all those people that even have a 9 to 5, and this is my point I'm trying to get to. When you take a payout, when you become a funded trader and you take a payout, take that payout. Do not, my shared experience, do not buy things that just make you look like you got money. Go start building your wealth and get a condo or something like that. I don't know, whatever it is. Real estate's always a good one. You look at Forbes richest whatever on their magazine, and like 90% of them own real estate. So it's like start building your real estate empire, one brick at a time. I started with a 2-bedroom, and then I listed that, and I got a 3-bedroom, and I started buying 5 bedrooms because 5 bedrooms got bigger ticket prices. And next thing you know, I have a portfolio that I could jump around to, and they're all houses that I would live in. If everything came down crashing, I'm like, okay, I'd live in this one. Of course, I just didn't buy it just to do that. So good stuff, SOSFX on that. Building another income stream is very, very important as a trader, or to keep the pressure off your trading profits or your trading days. You're on a cold streak and all that kind of stuff. Having another income is always very important, and a new income stream that's outside of your 9 to 5 is something I would work on every time you guys take a payout. And we have 4,000, 5,000 of you a week taking payouts. Average payouts 2,500. Some guys getting 50 grand. Some guys, you have enough to start another income stream. And yes, BK, you can go to OnlyFans and you can start that as well. Maybe knitting. I would do that. It's a little bit more. Knock on the pearly gates and you might get Ed kind of deal. I don't know.
What the hell just happened?
Jay, we did not have a failed downside auction in the S&Ps. We've left single prints below the IB low. If we put in new lows here, session lows, I'd be out.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm
That's
long
where my
as
stop is.
well. I got picked at 458.50. Where left a little offer and got picked. 4 micros long.
S&P's red on the day, below settlement. Nasdaq still has about 40 points to settlement.
Legal.
458 plus
Should be
4
illegal.
MNQ. All right, we good?
Doom, I got updated on your stats. You're looking good. Doom is 112. Originated from Bulgaria. Lives in Florida now. Former truck driver. Did you listen to the show, or did you trade while you were driving?
Oh yeah, both. Just because
we see a lot.
The things you're talking about is not some BS advice you get on YouTube. Like there's no, the $70,000 watches, the Lambos, buy my course, flex like $40,000 days and such. See, that's real advice. Have your financials straight so you don't have that mental pressure when you're trading.
Oh.
Some real life advice for a grown man, not some kid.
Yeah. Good job taking 40K out of the market so far. That's nice. I mean, right there.
Hey, we got some selling.
Hopefully, what's that? Sorry.
Yeah, selling off here a little bit. 61.40. Just put some new lows in there. Nasdaq falling as well. New lows just tapped in there. 22,429. Not seeing much in any of the other markets. Could have been a bit of a big market order hitting the bids.
Jay, you flat?
Yeah, I'm flat.
I got
170.
That's something that I got to work on. Like I catch myself changing my bias a little bit too much. Maybe I'll put a timer next to my
Well, I mean, monitor. I think there's something good about that. Flexible bias or strong opinions weekly held. That's always what I heard too. Trading.
I'll rush to the buy on this one. I mean, it was all right for a moment. The stop was at a good place. So good trade. Not all good trades are winners.
Or not. Managing the downside. Managing the downside is what it's all about. Hey, really quick. I got to throw it to Eddie. Eddie, we are seeing our Twitter X live numbers really popping. Another way to view us here on Top Step TV. We got the link. Also, we got the live icon on Top Step X. We got our Twitter live numbers coming in. Eddie, come on in. Where can they find us?
Yeah, that Twitter, that X, that Twix, that's where the cool kids are. At least that's where I see them. Make sure you're following us on Top Step TV. That's at Top Step TV on our Twitter, Twix, Twitter, X account. Catch show commentary, big events, all the cool things that Top Step TV does, all the cool things. So if you're not hooked up with us, hook it, baby. Also, did you know that Top Step TV is live 6 days a week? If you haven't, wake up. Come on.
Test. Welcome. We are back, chat. We are back. Look, it's getting a bit late, and I'm sort of maybe looking to close out my trading session for today, just because I'm not really getting the price action that I was, or a nice entry, really. So, look, there is a potential. I was thinking about doing a internal short continuation, because I noticed it happened here. There was as you can see, break of structure, and price came back to this little internal protected high sort of thing, and then continued down. So I was hoping to catch that, but doesn't look like that's happening. So really, we are zooming out, and we are looking for a we are looking for a pro trend continuation on the 3-minute. This is a good sweep. I'm gonna wait for it to come down a bit more, and then take a long, maybe off of something like this right here. 10. If I do it 10 minis, 10 times 2 is 20, and 20 with a tight stop loss of 16. Gives me $320, which I think is a pretty valid trade. I'm gonna make a maximum I can lose per day, because I'm pretty tight here. 350. My risk is gonna be about 300 to 550, almost 1 to 2, something like that. So if I'm doing 10 micros at this buy, what does that give me? 15, right? That should be like that. I mean, yeah, about 16 points. Yeah, sort of gives me a decent entry there in the 3-minute. Could have just missed it, really. I don't even know whether I want to stay up longer to really try and catch a trade here, because could be waiting all day, really, all night. I might just wrap it up. I'll just see the next, if it goes to 45. Oh, sorry, I don't have a stand yet for this camera, so this is just being propped up on a box. Still trying things out. Look at that. 15-minute candle is pretty struggling there. So yeah, what is it? Yeah, I think I might just wrap it up here. No trade today, really. Don't want to force anything. Don't need to force anything. The goal is to protect capital. We'll let it play out until the next 7 minutes. See what they were cooking up in this chart again. Did turn it off for a bit.
150 points, low of 22,400, call it. High of 22,548. So ranges are getting narrower. We've got to adapt and.
Wonder what they look like. They've got 3 longs there.
Back up.
Micros at 22467. 22467. So he 22467. He put 2 right there. Yeah, I would have waited.
Buyers really stepping up in this market at all. We saw a bunch of bids stepping in under the market yesterday. Anytime it sold off, I'm not seeing the same thing today. Not really seeing big sellers coming in either, but it just feels like no one wants to buy this over 500s. Any kind of bounce is being sold off. I did say I was going to lose money buying this market today because we've been in such an uptrend. Maybe that was a little bit of a fault, but
hey,
yeah, it's hard to
in
short.
trading markets, Jake. Yeah, trading markets. I was always okay. I was always okay. Being, upside buy. I'm cool losing money, being long.
Yeah.
This guy's smoking in his house.
Don't come
Crazy.
crying as Mom would say. trying to call tops this market.
Ah, cool.
It's true. I'm okay. Losing
All that
money,
ash
getting wrong,
everywhere.
it's fine.
Hell no.
Not going to fight the overall trend. Yeah, we got morning recap coming up in about 15, 16 minutes.
What would
We got
this
that
even look
API
like?
session. Make sure you stay tuned for that.
Very
Very
tight.
cool stuff. Got another VIP check in. We got top quiz. You get what, 2 entries for VIP season 3 draft coming this summer. Yeah, very cool. I do believe Michael has already.
Who was that?
You tell me.
Man, I have the worst memory.
All good. Well, Michael.
Name again.
Well, Michael. We're pretty good right now.
Oh, this is Dylan. Yep, I can remember. Dylan,
Dylan,
at the airport.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Price
Gave
is
my
looking like
exact
it's coming
location, My
down.
exact time that I'll be there.
So I've seen this
He met
happen
me
plenty of
one
times, to be
time.
honest.
So much so I was sitting there with
Initial
my kids,
sweep
just me and my boys
gets-
flying the College World Series, and
Yeah,
comes up,
the
it's like,
more
Michael,
the more proper one, really
Dylan?
strong sweep close to it, and then it gets swept
Dylan, if
just
you're
a
at
bit
work
more.
today, tune it in.
I like this
We
trade.
got Bernard flying in there tomorrow. He works at the airport.
Right, so we got some more little rascals.
Scooby-Doo is great too. That was like a wild premise for a show where they would just keep on going to abandoned amusement parks and keep on believing in the ghost, even though it's a guy every time, and then like Mama Cass would show up. That was like the 70s still. They were on some good stuff.
Yeah, they were stoned to bejesus. Hey, we got 1,000 likes. Awesome. Very cool. We've seen those Twitter X live. Not to be confused with Top Step X, because you also see that we are live as well. All right, hey, Michael. We told you about Ross Pro. We didn't know if he was still with us in the afterlife, but lo and behold, leave Ross Pro. We checked the voicemail, so listen.
Good morning,
Tom.
Top Step. It's your boy, Ross Perot. Now you may be thinking, Ross, didn't you pass away in 2019? Well, if I really died in 2019, wouldn't my biggest fan, MP, have known that the other day? Of course he would. That's why Top Step has hired me to help trim the fat. And believe me, there's more fat on this organization than a mobility scooter at the Iowa State Fair. First
come
off,
on.
Andre, you're not going to Tao anymore. Until we bring firework manufacturing back to America, you're not even going to think about purchasing one of those sparkler bottles of Grey Goose, which, by the way, is imported from France. You used to be able to support a family of 4 making sparklers, and when you lost a finger trying to impress your nephews on the 4th of July, at least you could be proud that the ordinance was made in America. But I digress. Next, MP, I want an itemized list of every dollar you spend on these flight lessons. Don't get me wrong, I very much understand the allure of taking to the sky, but I can also think of at least 100 cheaper ways to kill yourself during a midlife crisis. I'm happy to provide a list. Anyway, I have to leave now to take a deeper dive into the books. This won't be the last time you hear from the very much alive Ross Perot at Top Step.
Missed you, buddy. Missed you, Ross. Haven't seen you since the presidential debate in 90 whatever, 1997.
I haven't seen him since at least
You got my
2019, but
vote.
he's here.
God bless him.
You would have had my vote if I wasn't 15.
Ross Pro just taking shots at everyone.
Iowa State Fair, huh? Yeah, I was. Or was it Iowa State University? Because I went to Iowa State University.
Oh, the Iowa State Fair is where they have like fried butter on a stick. And,
I know. Oh yeah, I know.
So good. It's man, Ross Pro is still leaving us voicemails from the beyond, Michael. So good to know.
Good to know he's still, paid whatever to live forever.
Yep. All right, let's take a look at some of these bars. Everyone flat. Doom, you still in this trade?
Let's see what's going on.
I'll need that short. Kind of.
Yeah, the call, dude.
When there's news, testimonies, data releases, and stuff like that, I've become a little bit more overly precautious. Maybe for a good reason, maybe not. Past the fact, when the chart is printed, everything. Interesting day.
Yeah, we're not done. We're not done. Just maybe it's backloaded. We still have to see. We got blindsided by Fed speakers. Nothing on the calendar. Let's give it a quick refresh here, but it is a little quiet. Nothing. We got the 5-year auction at a noon central. We also got about fast marks. Look at that big board. What do we got? Love the big board. Ready? Let me know. Good to go there. Now hold on. Morning recap. What's up? You having fun, Michael? You enjoy coming on?
John Jones. I remember Coach McCartney. I had to tell him I was quitting the team.
Well, yeah, Michael played football for Iowa State.
I did a whole semester.
Yeah.
As third string wide receiver at Iowa State.
I saw the helmet.
So got eligibility?
Here we go, chat. It's coming down.
I think I just wanted it to tell the girls.
Come on. Trigger us in. We'll get the trade, and we can wrap it
high
up
school
for
good,
the
and then there's
day.
college good. That was
Patient
just
all
bananas.
day.
And then there's professional, which is stratosphere type of talent.
16
Get the jersey.
times 232 times.
You don't got to be in the games.
10 lots.
I got a helmet.
20.
There you go. You get a helmet. You still get to give somebody your jersey to wear during homecoming.
Was it this show, or was this years? How many years ago? What I was talking. I think it was right when we started Top Step TV. Somebody's like, "Hey, you know what's really funny is I live in Iowa. I'm a friend, I'm a fan of Iowa State, and I think I got your helmet." I'm like, what? And next thing you know, it sends me a picture that he bought a helmet. Has my name on the inside of the helmet. I'll bring it. It's in my house in Chicago, and it has my number on it, number 5, and then my name. And I'm like, you wouldn't know any of that. Like, well, he could, like looking at a Iowa State newspaper as far as roster.
I was calling bullshit. I was calling bullshit until I saw that helmet.
I know. Did he send it to me?
Yeah.
He just.
Yeah,
I got it.
All right, a couple more minutes. All right, one of our favorite things here, the big board. You see it on social media everywhere. Everyone wants to be on that big board. Everyone wants striving to be on the graphic. So, JD, give us an update. Who we got on the big board? What's up, JD? Look at that.
Oh, there we are. Big board, right into it, for sure. There they are, top 25 live funded traders here at Top Step. Top 5 have not changed at all from yesterday. KJ Future, CFT, Tata, Spigen 91, and Coach DBA. That's Coach Dakota. A couple of movers on the list there. Number 7, Ruzel, we talked about him, took a $70,000 payout yesterday, jumped up to number 10 on the board, 17th yesterday. Also had a nice day trading. Wazrak, our buddy down there in 10th spot, took that 50K payout yesterday. He's been hanging around the big board for quite a while. Lidio also moving up the board down in 17th place. Took a $45,000 payout yesterday. We mentioned that guy. And Wayne, number 19, first day in the live funded account, made a couple $100. That's why it says null next to his name. Wayne and Guan, both on the first couple days in those live funded accounts, but both making a little bit of money to start. Ashley, number 23 down there, also mentioned her earlier, 23K payout. There are your top 25 traders. This is the big board. We'll keep it up for just a second here. Get your cameras ready, take your screenshots. Make sure you tag Top Step on social when you post it. Hashtag Top Step, hashtag Top Step TV, hashtag Fast Markets, hashtag Power Hour. All right, folks.
Hashtag JD. One of the 4.
Hashtag JD.
Roommates.
Damn right.
The four amigos at the Trader House. Man, oh man. Very cool.
Crude, 81% long.
Still holding that long. Take a look at the prices. Yeah, 65.
You guys brought me
40.
good memories, man. Really good memories. I was a goalkeeper, and the jersey is either number 1 or 99, and I wear it like, I ask me like, "Hey, look at that back, baby. Game starts with me and it ends with me. I'm the goalie." It was great. It was great. Yeah. That was what pickup life. It was great.
I love it. Doom, question for you. Would you ever do something like Jay and JD and Baron and Dakota did? Would you ever do something like that? Would you be on camera, have cameras follow you around, live this lifestyle, trading on TV?
Yeah, it'll probably take me a couple of times to get used to it, but yeah, I'm down. Man, I'm down for whatever.
Yeah,
You can't miss an opportunity. You can't say no to what life is throwing at you.
Sure.
Even if
Jay,
it's good, bad, don't matter.
How long did it take to adjust, Jay?
Maybe a day or so. Just every time the camera asks you to do something, and you're just like, all right, was it weird? Did I say something weird or whatever it was? But about a day to get adjusted, and then we were pretty good from there.
Yeah, just be me and then go about.
Yeah.
Hopefully they
Might-
edit it well.
Hey, might well.
Right, exactly. See what it looks like on the edit.
Dre, I gotta get rolling. I got a top of
knew
the
it.
hour meeting.
I knew it was coming. Also,
Top of the
Michael,
hour.
they love Topo Gigio. All right, Michael, any final words? Thanks for coming on here. Update with support. That was awesome. Obviously, we are working around the clock. Final words. You're gonna be in meetings today. I'm assuming addressing that. Final words for all the peeps out here that tune into Top Step TV.
No, I mean, I would read what Coach Jay just put to Dan Burr in there. I think that's a great line to end with. You want to read it out loud, Coach Jay, so then it's one to many instead of on there?
Oh, yeah. So Dan Burr and I were having a conversation. Dan recognized that I kept trading in a combine after I got locked out of an XFA. I used a personal daily loss limit, and Dan was saying that, he struggles with doing that, right? Accepting what a loss looks like on the day. So what I was telling Dan is when you can accept what that number is, and the message I wrote was accept the fact that nothing is going to work 100% of the time. So you can't over leverage due to emotions or knowing your system. We had a trader yesterday at the buzzer that says, I know my system, I trust it. But unfortunately, no system is 100% and it's not perfect. So you can't bet the farm on one trade. And it's kind of easy to do as a trader. You feel like you know what you're looking at, but I say it all the time. I said it this morning with Hogue on the opening call. The market does not give a shit what you think. And the quicker you can accept that and just place trades based on a system and let the numbers work out, I think the better it works in your favor. So
yeah. So that put a cap on losses are ordinary, necessary part of trading. It's okay. Nothing's going to work 100% of the time. I saw that girl there. Oh, that's well said. Next thing, that's Coach Jay. Oh, that's the birthday voice. I'm gonna let you finish with that one. Happy birthday, Coach Jay. Good
Appreciate
stuff.
you,
But that's kind of the takeaway, guys. Losses are ordinary, necessary. Never be ashamed of them, but learn from them and try not to make the same mistake again. And if you do, fine. But if you keep making the same mistake, then that's you not slowing down and staying disciplined and adapting to a better path than the one you're currently on. So,
Man,
take care, guys.
Get your shovel out, Michael. Bring your shovel. Get your shovel. See you later, Michael.
I'm going to bring a shovel tomorrow. I
I
won't be on tomorrow. I'm flying.
Same.
Way up in the air.
Yeah. Where are you going? I'll see you.
I got flight lesson.
Well, that's right. You're flying. All right. Take care, Michael. Thanks for joining. CEO and founder of Top Step. And the prop space, man. Where else are you going to get that? Click like, subscribe, click notify. Coming on here. Taking the heat. Who else does that? Taking the heat. See, we're going to address the support issues. We're always working. I can assure you that. Be nice, be kind, be patient. I understand. It's frustrating. They are all in. We're all about the trader here. All right, let's go around the market. Markets are a bit of a holding pattern. We got to stay locked in, stay patient. We know that their headlines are going to come at moments notice right around the corner. So don't let these markets lull you to sleep. While the competition is falling asleep and dozing off, we're locked in. For when that headline hits, we are going to jump on it. We're always staying in that screen time. That's why we're here at Top Step TV to make sure you don't just take a trade just for the sake of trade. Taking it will keep you entertained, keep you informed, also keep you locked in on these markets. Jack, any thoughts? We're in a very tight range ES.
I mean, it's worth looking out and just saying that we are right at settlement right now in the ES. So not much change. Let's go for all-time highs. If not today, soon. Not today,
there,
probably.
We'll let the birthday boy close out. But Doom, as always, thanks for jumping on. Hang in there. You're grinding right now. I know
Hey,
he was got a good spirit.
I sized up. It didn't pan out. Sized down. Back to the usual. All right.
Hey, thanks for coming on, doing this, Doom. People love you. Give some love to Doom. Doom, already see him in the chat. Coach Jay, Mr. Birthday. You saw him in his birthday suit on that birthday card. What are your big plans for your birthday besides being what do you got for in store for your birthday?
So I just gave myself a birthday present. I'm going on a trip to Jamaica next month. Just booked it. And then I'm gonna go meet up with my sister and my niece for lunch after this. So like I said, even if I lose today, which I didn't want to lose. But I'm winning. I'm blessed to see another year. Thank you all. And shout out to Aaliyah in the chat who said it's also their birthday. So happy birthday to you, Aaliyah.
Howdy. Happy birthday to both. Man, I just paid $6,700 for power in my house. I guess that's my birthday gift.
Got a plans built
my way as well.
I gotta do one thing. Where's the party at? Coach Jay, where the party at, man?
Meet me in Jamaica next month.
Hey, yeah, man. Awesome. Hey, keep an eye out.
Alrighty, chat. I think that's it for today. I'm not going to sort of sit and wait for this kind of mediocre trade. There wasn't really a strong trade option tonight, today. Really, I guess you know, from this line onwards is today's session, and you know, the only sort of one that I did see in the beginning was this potential long from this area at this sort of protected low, but wasn't really that deep enough for me to take it. And then as price sort of came up, it was really choppy during London and Frankfurt, as you can see here. Very choppy. Hit that high. That was a potential short, but it only came back, you know, 50%. So I wouldn't have really made much on that anyway. So price opened up, continued going up. No real good opportunities to take an entry on a counter trend short. So yeah, this position here isn't really the greatest to take a long from yet, so it's still choppy, so we'll leave it at that. All right, chat, thanks for today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.